Do you suffer cervicogenic dizziness or been diagnosed with cervicogenic dizziness or just curious what cervicogenic dizziness is? In this video, we're going to define out what cervicogenic dizziness is, and we're going to give you 3 easy to do exercises to start getting some relief. All right, everyone, let's get into the video and take a look. Welcome to another episode of Physio Tips with Marrow. I'm your host, Marrow Burnett. And for those of you that don't know me, I'm a board certified specialist in orthopedic physical therapy and the owner of Australian Physiotherapy Specialists Physical Therapy Center located in Jacksonville, Florida. For today's video, we're going to define out cervicogenic dizziness, and then we're also going to give you 3 easy to do exercises to start getting some relief in case you happen to be suffering from cervicogenic dizziness. Cervicogenic dizziness is a dizziness or disequilibrium that's triggered from a problem in the upper neck. You have 7 vertebrae in your neck. C1, C2, and C3, when irritated, have the potential to create a dizziness or disequilibrium. Oftentimes, this type of dizziness is going to be a bit different than the severe vertigo that maybe you've heard of. When I think of severe vertigo, I think of a 30-second, maybe 45-second brief episode of sudden spinning. And for cervicogenic dizziness, oftentimes it's experienced a little different. You might just have that feeling of being off. You go to lie down quickly in your bed and you feel dizzy for a few seconds. Or maybe you get up suddenly from lying down and you feel dizzy. Turn your head to the right or to the left and you might feel dizzy. Or even bending over, looking into a drawer or something like that, and you could feel dizzy. For cervicogenic dizziness, oftentimes you don't have a sudden hearing loss at the same time that you became dizzy. Oftentimes you may have a history of neck pain or headaches. Upper neck disorders that cause cervicogenic dizziness also cause headaches and nausea. And they irritate certain nerves that could even cause jaw tightness or TMJ-like symptoms. So if you have dizziness or disequilibrium, kind of the way we described it, you also have a history of some neck problems, and maybe you get frequent headaches, it's starting to sound like you possibly could have cervicogenic dizziness. If you do have cervicogenic dizziness, it can be treated with the right care. In this video, we're going to give you 3 exercises, easy to do. Let's start with exercise number 1. We're going to get into it right now. All right, for our very first exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of weight bearing through the cervical spine. Weight bearing through the cervical spine has been shown to do 2 important things. 1 is it calms down the tightness in the back of your neck, and 2, it turns on your deep stabilizing muscles of the neck. We did a video not too long ago on neck stability. I'm going to tag it at the end of this video. Check it out. We also did a previous video on cervical dizziness with more of an in-depth description. I'll tag that as well. But for this exercise, we're going to add this weight bearing. This weight bearing is going to kick on my protective stabilizing muscles, and it also enhances a word called proprioception. Proprioception is a third of your balance system, and what proprioception does is it gives you a sense of where is my head in space. So weight bearing in a small amount that doesn't hurt, very important that it doesn't hurt, strengthens your core muscles, your one joint muscles that stabilize, relax your overly tight muscles, and help your proprioception, which is a third of your balance system. So we're going to get into this. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. It's a pretty easy exercise, can be done several different ways. We'll show you a basic way to do it, and then you can give it a try at home. Let's take a look. All right, for our first exercise, what I have here is a small bag of polypropylene beads. It's about a 1/4 pound. I'm going to place this right on the top of my head, right in the center, not too far forward, not too far back. What it's going to be is kind of like the proverbial book on the head that we saw the debutantes in the 50s have, right? It has a little bit of load through the spine. Scientists call it axial load. And for this exercise, this is what we're going to do. For my driver's license, I'm 6'1". So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to slowly make myself the entire 6'1", and then I'm going to gently bring my chin to level. I don't want my chin too far forward. I don't want my chin too far back. And I don't want to be slouched when I'm doing it. So carefully, I make myself 6'1", very relaxed through the shoulders, gently bring my chin to level, and now I'm going to hold for 8 to 10 seconds. Behind the scenes, my one joint stabilizing muscles are switching on, and it's sending a weight-bearing signal to relax my overly tight, large neck muscles. It's also enhancing proprioception. European Space Agency research studies have shown that when you spend time in space, it diminishes your proprioception, which would harm your balance system. Adding a little bit of axial load or load through the spine enhances your proprioception. So it's an easy exercise. Hold it for 10 seconds and then relax. Right? Relax for 2 or 3 seconds and one more. Tall through the crown of my head. Gently bring my chin to level, shoulders relaxed, eyes looking straight ahead. Hold for 10 seconds. And then we relax. This can be repeated for 6 to 10 reps. And then this can be repeated 4, 5, 6 times a day, depending on your tolerance. If you can tolerate 3 or 4 times a day and nothing more, do that. If you can do 6 times a day, you're going to get better faster. It only takes you a minute to do the exercise, so it's easy to repeat this throughout your day. A great, simple, basic exercise to get some weight bearing through the neck, turn on your core muscles, and start turning off that dizziness. All right, let's look at exercise number 2. I'm going to kind of flow into exercise number 2. For exercise number 2, we're going to do same exercise we did in 1, tall, chin level. I'm going to focus my eyes on a target. Maybe it's my thumbnail. And I'm going to slowly rotate to the left, slowly rotate to the right, keeping my eyes on the center object. If everything goes well, I might do 1, 2, or even 3 sets of 10 of this exercise. If I'm doing this at home, a good idea is maybe put a sticky note on the wall and focus on the sticky note, or maybe pick out something interesting on the wall or a painting and stare at it. That way you don't have to hold your arm up while you're doing it. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Notice my eyes are looking straight at the camera, and I'm not letting my eyes deviate. It's a little tricky at first. What if it makes you dizzy? Okay, if it makes you dizzy, stop the exercise, go back to exercise number 1. Train that for a day or 2, and then come back and try it. As your neck stability improves, you're going to start to be able to do rotation without feeling dizzy. But if your neck stability is very poor, dizziness may start immediately. If that's the case, skip exercise number 2, go back to exercise number 1. All right, we're going to get into exercise number 3 in a moment, and I'll show you another way that we can do this. All right, for exercise number 3, I'm going to use the same small weight. It's going to give me a little bit of axial load. Okay, what if you don't have a 1/4 pound bag of polypropylene beads at home? This could be a folded up hand towel. Maybe you could weigh it out and see if it's about a 1/4 pound. Or maybe it could be pillowcase folded and up. Or maybe you have a Ziploc bag that you can put some rice and beans in. Ziploc bag may not stick to your head, but you could wrap it in a washcloth, something like that. We can get creative. But the idea is if we put a little bit of load through the spine, it's going to help turn on our stabilizing muscles. What if you did the load and immediately it kicked on dizziness or started to create neck pain? Okay, you do the same exercise, just no load through the top of your head. You may have to build into it. But for this video, we're going to pretend that maybe this is an intermediate level dizziness. It's not the most severe level dizziness that you could possibly have, but it's that intermediate. In this case, you can tolerate. So I'm going to show you a third exercise that you can do. This one we're going to call lateral gaze with a little bit of load through the spine. For lateral gaze, I'm going to cut my eyes to the left about 45 degrees. I'm then going to turn my head. Then I'm going to cut my eyes to the right about 45 degrees, and then I'm going to rotate. I'm going to cut my eyes first, and then I'm going to rotate, look to the right, and then rotate. It's a little bit unnatural to do this, but it's helping with my eye-head coordination while also helping with my neck strength and stability. If this creates dizziness, go back to exercise number 2. And if that creates dizziness, go back to exercise number 1. So you can see there's a nice progression here. Start with exercise 1, build to exercise number 2, and then finally exercise number 3. So there you have it. 3 simple exercises that you could do to start improving your cervicogenic dizziness. Make sure they're pain-free. Make sure they're not causing headaches or neck pain. And if that's the case, these are a couple great exercises you could start with tonight. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video on 3 exercises to help with cervicogenic dizziness. If you enjoyed the video and you have a loved one that maybe suffers cervicogenic dizziness, feel free to share it with them. Remember, you can like our video, comment below. We'd love to hear your comments, and you can subscribe to our channel to receive more videos like this on helpful physiotherapy tips. Thanks for watching. It's goodbye for now, and we'll see you next time on Physio Tips with Marrow.